in my car, you know.
That's going to be a problem for you if you don't hurry up. Just a thought.
Huh?
We're live. This is just overheating. There we go.
Hi there, everybody. It's Todd and Erin Morning stream, getpartdaily.com. What's going on?
We are the most awarded
We have
morning podcast.
We have many awards.
Many of them.
We gave them to ourselves.
It doesn't matter.
They have other people's names on
Don't
them.
clarify.
Let's get back to this. Okay,
Okay.
so first of all, what's the date today? February 20th. It is 7:01 in the morning. There's a snow crisis going on right now.
No,
So-
it's emergency snow
So
traffic.
if you're watching this like later on, like in a week, it's the first snowstorm in Salt Lake City in Utah for the entire season, pretty much. And yesterday,
And apparently it's the zombie apocalypse, and we weren't told.
KSL, our news station, as you can see out the morning cam, brought to you by
Brio Technologies, your experts in lighting, sound, and video.
KSL, which is our big news
Do you need to
place in
keep
town.
repeating their call letters over and over?
We're not in radio anymore. They can.
I know, but nonetheless, go on. Go on.
Anyway, they had guest upon guest upon guest on. They did nothing else but talk about the snow. I was sitting in front of the studio in my truck on bare streets with a light flurry coming down. Now, I know in Utah we have very selective weather. We have weather over here, and then we don't have weather over here.
It's the lake effect.
And so basically, we woke up this morning to probably about 8 inches of snow on the benches. And I-15, if you are listening, and it is 7:02, you will be late to work because I-15 was snow-packed and 30 miles an hour.
It's about 45 for me, so maybe it picked up a little bit. But no, it's just the point of every time I keep one more person tells me, be slow, drive slowly. It's like
They tell you how to
it's
drive
like
a lot.
do you literally think I have absolutely no I mean, I can breathe in and out. If you can breathe in and out, you probably are aware that when you're driving on an icy stretch of road and everyone else is going 40 miles an hour, you too will attempt 40 miles an hour. But they act like you're going to get on there and just slam down. It's like
Yesterday they told me if the street is shiny, it's wet. I kid you not. I kid you not. I go, what? I did not know that. I stopped my car immediately, got out, and licked the ground. Make sure it was wet.
it was awkward because it was on I-15, but that's okay. These things happen.
4 UHP trooper vehicles were hit yesterday in the afternoon.
Oh, were the guys okay?
Yeah,
The
everybody's
troopers?
fine. But 4. So there you go. So
There was like 400 accidents, so people
There-
fender bender risks. So we
there are
weren't paying it.
400 accidents going on right now, so it's going to take a long time to get to work. And I'm sorry if you are listening at 7:04.
But it is not the snowpocalypse. Okay. Nobody died. See, you can see there, for instance, we did get some pictures from some of the Facebook friends yesterday, and he showed me, you can clearly see there's
Snow.
some snow there.
It's Utah.
And then there was, this was one of our neighbors.
Say, read your license plate.
She got up to the first knuckle of snow, so she
Nice.
felt like it was big. Then, of course, there was the
Oh,
8
my.
inches of snow. So,
Yeah.
I think some people got more than we did.
They always do.
Sandy, they say it was about a foot. Up on the benches, we got 3 inches, 4 inches, maybe.
No, about 8 inches.
But men always oversay that. They always overstate.
That's why women can't parallel park.
All right, we're just going to move on. That might be for the best.
We're kind of edgy this morning with each other.
Why is that?
Maybe it's because of my computer.
Not again.
So it spent 4 hours yesterday. There you go.
Tell me you're kidding
I don't
me.
know, 4 hours yesterday doing this.
And you're updating again?
And now I've just turned it on, and now I will not be able to use my PC for life.
How have you offended the small appliance
I
gods?
don't know.
I mean, you had to have done something to them.
I don't know.
Wow.
But
That's incredibly frustrating.
We shall move on. Okay.
All right, well, this I did not think I would see ever.
What do you got?
President Donald Trump endorsed Mitt Romney for the U.S. Senate Monday
That's
night.
not true.
Yeah, you remember
It's
they had
fake news.
You'll remember they had a fairly contentious beginning.
They were mean to each other.
Well, Trump said that
Time
Romney,
to
quote,
suck it up.
will make a great senator and worthy successor to Orrin Hatch and has my full support and endorsement. And Mitt Romney said that he's running for the wonderful state of Utah. On Friday, he said, "Thank you, Mr. President, for the support. I hope that over the course of the campaign, I earned the support and endorsement of the people of Utah." And they've had kind of that hot and cold relationship. You may remember in 2016, Romney referred to Trump as a phony and a fraud, and then
Yeah.
Trump called Romney a choke artist and a loser. So,
Let's go on a date.
it's
It's like a pickup line.
kiss and make up time. So, you know what?
Something.
And at this point, if you can say you can work with each other, that's good to hear.
This is true.
Really?
This is true.
That's nice.
That's because we're all educated here in
You're
Utah.
very intelligent.
We are
people.
educated, and we stand up well against the nation, I do believe.
This is actually kind of cool. I was really impressed by this. They obviously, it's not only a point of pride for the state, but it also encourages business growth. It is one of the things that gives you better advantage in terms of more investments, and it's just cool.
Workforce, yeah.
And it's nice to know that we have children with an IQ higher than a Fig Newton and actually work.
Smarter than us.
So let's starting with the lowest. Just guess. Now, in terms of educational attainment, this is not only grades, it's also attendance. It's how many kids actually graduate from high school, how many kids actually go to some sort of advanced education,
Right.
Including vocational,
That,
the least educated.
it's Mississippi, it always is.
You know, I can imagine running for governor of Mississippi. It's just like, we are gonna
Nothing. We're just going to try.
we're gonna go make some corn bone, and we're gonna make some nice grits, and we're gonna pour some maple sorghum, sit down, and we're just gonna. So I hope you'll vote for me.
They
They're
have great
beautiful.
food. They have
I
the worst
know.
health in the nation. They have the shortest lifespan.
And it's such a beautiful state. I mean, it's an absolutely beautiful state. Number 2, West Virginia. Yeah. Louisiana, Arkansas, Alabama, Kentucky. That makes me so sad.
Give me the top 5.
Okay, top 5. This is where we start shining again. It makes me very pleased. Number 1, ooh, look, it's your home state. You're so special. Massachusetts. Maryland's number 2, Connecticut number 3. See, once again, it's the Northeast. Vermont, and then Colorado.
You know why the Northeast ones?
Why?
Lobster.
Lobster makes your brain smarter.
How much is 1 lobster plus 1 lobster? 2 lobsters, says the 1-year-old.
But delicious.
Where did Utah fall?
We came in 11th.
Well, that's not bad at
So
all.
I feel okay about that. We did drop from 8th last year, which makes me question what happened. But that's still good. You know, I'm okay. I can live with that.
It's weird.
I know, but it's still good, so I'm happy.
I'm going to tell you a very cool story. I'm going to tell it very quickly. Anthony Borges, he's 15 years old. During the shooting in Florida, he held himself against a door and was shot 5 times, protecting 20 students.
He blocked the door so that the shooter couldn't get in. He was shot 5 times, 15 years old, and he still held on. The reason why we do this one is because there's a picture of him in the ambulance, all latched up to everything, and one of the policemen shaking his hand. 15 years old. Think about you at 15 years old, getting 5 bullets and holding the
And he
door.
didn't let go of the door.
So anyway, can you put up the slate one more time? The reason why I wanted to mention this is because, number 1, this kid is freaking incredible, and I hope he's president of the United States one day. And number 2, they have a GoFundMe for him. He's going to require extensive recovery. He was the last one out of critical. They didn't think they were going to keep him. So if you want to go to GoFundMe.com/Anthony Borges, Borges, you can donate. Todd and I already did, because I just think this kid is incredible. And it's just a nice way to go back to pushing one more point of light versus focusing on what will be a non-entity. I'm not going to even talk about it. So this is an amazing point of light, in case you would like to donate.
All right, information time.
All right, let's go to Daisy. She is in the Gephardt Daily Newsroom. She is brought to you by Always Black Friday, where it is 32.75% off every day on 12th Street in Ogden. Denali Medical Center. Look, if you want to go in for one of their pick-me-ups, they've got these boosters with vitamins and minerals that will make you feel like $1 million, and they can also get rid of all of your joint injuries. And All Utah Plumbing, Heating, and Air. This is a great time to make sure your furnace is actually working properly. They can do that for you. Go to allutahplumbing.com. Daisy, my dear, what is going on today?
Hello, everyone. Here's what's making news on Tuesday, February 20th on GephartDaily.com. Monday's snowstorm turned out to be a rough one for Utah drivers. According to the Highway Patrol, there were nearly 300 crashes between midnight and 11 a.m. Monday. 217 of those were in Salt Lake and Utah counties. The rest were in Davis and Weber counties. The storm is lasting longer than originally was forecast, with lake effect snow expected through Tuesday afternoon. Valley floors will get about 10 to 12 inches of snow by the time it's all over. The mountains will have gotten between 2 and 3 feet. 6 men have been arrested in Iron County after making arrangements to have sex with what they thought was a 13-year-old girl. The arrests were made as part of a joint operation, according to the Parowan Police Department. Investigators say all of the men responded to an online ad on a website known for child trafficking activities and met with a confidential informant. Police said each of the suspects then traveled to a house in northern Iron County, where law enforcement officers moved in and made the arrests. And a teenage snowmobiler who was stranded in the Utah outback has been found safe and sound. The Cache County Sheriff's Office says the 15-year-old was stranded after his snowmobile became stuck in rough terrain in the Swan Flats area of Logan Canyon. The teen ultimately decided to take matters into his own hands and ended up hiking several miles before running into another group of snowmobilers. They took him to the Searchers Command Post, where he was reunited with family. And time now for your Wasatch Front weather, brought to you by Brio Technologies, Utah's top audiovisual specialists. The biggest storm of the year is still bringing snow to the Salt Lake Valley 24 hours after it blew into town. So far, snow totals have averaged about 8 inches on the valley floor, and we could get another 4 inches or so by the time the storm blows out late Tuesday afternoon. Daytime temps will hang in the low 30s, and overnight temps will remain in the low teens. That's it for now. For more news and weather 24/7, go to GephartDaily.com. For now, Todd and Erin, back to you.
Thank
All
you.
right, thanks, Daisy. I'm going to tell you about allutahplumbing.com, allutahplumbing.com. They are ready to help you. One of the cool things is the fact that they don't use cheap materials, and they back up their work, and so that's why they can, because they know it's not going to break. If it does, they'll fix it. But there's so many different qualities in a faucet, in different plumbing things that they use. They use the best stuff they can get their hands on, and it does make it last longer. If you want more information, go to allutahplumbing.com. All right, so.
Tell me something good.
Always Black Friday.
It's brought to you, of course, by Always Black Friday, where it's 30 to 75% off every day. And this is one of my favorite stories, just because anyone who doesn't think that dogs are totally manipulative.
Well, let me start with this. Sting is a dog. There's a dog. His name is Sting. He's got a sad face. Once a week, he goes down and he works at the library. What does the dog Sting do at the library?
You would think he would just be like a therapy animal. Maybe he's just sitting around chilling.
He is actually a therapy animal, and he's trained in everything. But basically what he does is he sits there, and the kids read to him. How cool is that?
Well, the reason why they thought this was exceptionally cool is he's a rescue. He's one of those beautiful animals
he's a hound.
That he was a retired race dog,
right?
And that is their only existence. And so when these greyhounds, these beautiful animals, retire, you literally have to be with them 24/7 for at least 2 weeks to keep them from just declining, because that's their job. So he's this beautiful dog. He needed a job, and his owner realized that he just had this classic look of like grief and misery on his face. And so he took him down. He's like, my dog is incredibly sad. I can't seem to do anything to cheer him up. Could you read to him? And what they were finding is some of the kids who had the most difficult reading problems, maybe some learning difficulties or different, altered problems. They were the first ones to sign up because they figured he needed to be saved. And so what they found out is he was starting to fill up every single week. So now they've moved it to daily. So essentially this dog is guilting children into literacy.
Now, one of the cool things is that if someone's having trouble with reading and stuff like that, had it, been there, still do, it's easier to read to a dog, believe it or not, than it is to a human.
There's no judgment.
There is no
dog.
judgment. It's a dog.
They're like, thank you for reading to me. I'm very happy.
Even
now.
if you suck at it, a couple pats behind the ear, you're back in the game. So anyway, basically what happened is no one signed up one day. And the whole week, no one had signed up. Perhaps they went on vacation. Who knows? So the owner took pictures of Sting, and he put it online.
Look
saying,
at his face.
No one wants to read to me.
Oh my gosh, that's the saddest thing ever.
Well, of course.
Look at that face.
Of course, what happened? Of course. The internet went crazy. The phone started ringing off the hook.
And once again, Sting guilted all the children into reading.
They actually got to the point where people were calling from other states saying, if you could hold the phone up or put it on speaker, we could be an alternate anytime there isn't anyone there.
That is the sweetest thing.
So funny.
You could always FaceTime the dog. How cool would that be?
Yeah. Hi, Pooch.
Oh, that is so
funny.
cute.
That picture of that face, though. We have a lot of dog stories today, by the way.
I'm all about the dogs.
Cat people, don't worry. Your day will come.
Please don't take this personally, and we're
All
very
right.
sorry.
There you go. I'll tell you something good I just did.
And you did.
Christopher's giveaway. Every Friday we give away a meal for 4. That's you and 3 of your friends or family or whoever. Or you can sit there alone and enjoy 4 meals.
Eat 4 entrees. We don't care. Go for it. Have fun.
Yeah, and all you have to do is...
Just comment on the show today. If you're watching us on, and it doesn't matter what time of the day or night you're watching, but if you're watching, if perhaps you're in Gephardt Daily or Gephardt Approved, just drop a comment saying, I'd like to go to Christopher's or you stink or whatever. If you're on the conversation with us here on the Todd and Erin Facebook page, just say, hey, good morning, drop Christopher's name, and you're entered. Then we draw Friday, and boom, you're done. It's that simple. But it's the big thank you. We're kind of coming up on 3 million hits, and we're as shocked as you are.
Hey, coming up next, if you're an entrepreneur and you're about to launch a business and stuff, the person that Erin's going to talk to next takes it from, that's a good idea, to how much you're going to sell these for because you're now holding it in your hand.
It's really cool.
It's coming up
next. The Todd and Erin Morning Stream is brought to you by UtahCreditApproval.com. Bad things happen to good people, but you can get your credit back on track and get a reliable automobile by giving them a call. 801-404-7201. And also by Columbus Travel with spectacular deals on cruises and all-inclusive vacations. Go to ColumbusVacations.com. And all Utah Plumbing, Heating, and Air, where they have a winter special that they can check out your furnace and make sure that it's operating efficiently, saving you hundreds of dollars in energy bills. Just go to allutahplumbing.com. Did you know that you can catch the Todd and Erin Morning Stream on Facebook, YouTube, SoundCloud, and GephartDaily.com any time of the day or night?
At Always Black Friday, we love a good deal. We buy new and used products at a discount so we can pass on the savings to you. And we're Gephardt approved. From electronics to clothing to appliances. If you want it, we have it at discount prices. Visit our eBay store or come to our warehouse at 865 West 12th Street in Ogden. Always Black Friday, where you can find Black Friday deals all year round.
Happy Black Friday!
Blacksmith.
All right, we're back, and this is so cool. I am introducing you to Brian Sather. Now, you're going to like this guy because Brian's probably going to make you the next millionaire. Now, the cool thing about Brian is he is the CEO of Blacksmith International. Now, you came here from California, what, about 3
years.
3 years ago?
Yeah.
Now, what made you think, okay, Utah's fertile ground? We are, but what made you think that?
When I was in California, I realized I'm a product person. So product people... we're fascinated by everything product, outdoors product, baby product, all the cool Kickstarter and everything that's all happening here. There's more Kickstarter programs here. There are more Shark Tank companies here than anywhere else.
See how
it's the best
smart we
place
are.
to be.
You just enhanced all of our self-esteem, so I thank you for that.
Yeah, good job, Utah.
Well, it's interesting because you're absolutely right. And when you talk to people here who do have a brilliant idea, but the concept of where you go from there and developing a business plan and marketing and how you would even get everything together, this is the part where it stalls 99% of the people. Mm-hmm. And this is actually where you basically step in and go, okay, tell me what you're thinking.
Absolutely.
So how does it go from there?
Well, first to step back, there's this huge gap, and I think you're alluding to it, but there's this huge gap between having an idea and going to market. It's like a black hole, right? Everybody has an idea. Very few people make it happen. So what we've done is we've said, how can we remove all these barriers? So we sat down, and this is literally sat down with a whiteboard, and we're like, what are the issues? How do we solve them? And I think we've done that probably better than anybody in the industry. So we're breaking it down, saying, what are the steps that need to happen? How can we get somebody there without breaking the bank? Mm-hmm. I mean, most of the time you go to hire a design firm and they're going to ask you to write a check for 50, 60 grand. Well, that's all the money you had.
Yeah, exactly.
And people write the checks, and then they're done. Their project is done. So we realized that as a company, what we're interested in is getting people to that point where they're receiving product. And everything else that happens in there, we have to do that as cheap as fast and as efficiently as possible, and that's what we've done. I mean, way better than what I've seen elsewhere in the industry.
Yeah, I can't even imagine being, that person with the idea, and then you rip open that first box that's got your stuff in it and go, oh my God, this is so much cooler than I thought. I mean, that must be so much fun for you to watch too, because it's like part of you're happy, and part of you is like, I am a genius. I mean, right? I mean,
well, and part of me is thinking, man, we spent a lot of money to make that happen. It better work out. We have a full-time, huge team in China. We have a huge team in India. These are the guys that make it happen. But yeah, when somebody gets that product and it's right, it's what it was supposed to be, and then you see them selling, it's fantastic. It really is a game changer.
That's so much fun. Now, you guys actually had a seminar at NOAA's, I think it was about, 4 or 5 months ago?
Yeah, September.
And you got slammed with a bunch of people who are like, I totally want to do this. I'm a business owner. I could do this. Now, you call it Product Power Up. Are you going to do it again?
Oh, 100%. Without a doubt.
What's your evil vision? When is it?
September. We'll do it again in September. September 20th at Southtown. It's going to be a lot bigger than it was this year. What we did wrong in this last one is that
I thought it was pretty good.
That was fantastic. But what we did wrong was we thought, oh, man, we've got to keep the venue small because we're not sure what the response is going to be. And by about, I think it started at 9, by about 9:15, I was out and I was looking at the parking lot. And it was literally cars as far as you could see. The dealerships, the car dealerships next door, their lots were full.
That's hysterical. You're going fire code issues.
They're parking behind the new cars, whatever they could. And I think we had some video. It's crazy.
That's so fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can actually catch that if you want to see some of the snippets from that on getpartdaily.com because it really was inspiring. So when you're going through Product Power Up, you basically just say, is it kind of what we're talking about here where you're going, so you got the ideas, now here's where we go, and you start going through steps and ideas, or
yeah, well,
brain power, what do you do?
What we did, brain power. It's a gathering of brain power. It is a place where everybody product gets together at one time. So we had great speakers, some of the most successful product companies in Utah, Cotopaxi, Rags to Riches, Harmon Brothers, who do the brilliant commercials for product.
Oh yeah.
Stance Socks. So these people were talking about how they did it, how they made it work, and that was really cool. But then we also had panels that were stacked with a who's who of product experts. So we had people from the financing world. How do you get money to do it?
That's one of the single biggest issues, yeah.
It is massive, yeah. And people from the design world. How do you get a really good designer who can design your product so it can actually be manufactured? People from the manufacturing world, everything. So if you went to that conference, and we had people say this afterwards, it was so great to see a conference focused on product, not tech, not entrepreneurship.
There's a lot on tech and entrepreneurship, you're right. Well, the thing that I noticed, at least I talked to a couple of my friends who attended, they were really shocked, number one, about how, because there were some people that you could consider competing, and they said everybody was really generous about offering support and advice, and they said, they're both from out of state, and they said, I've never seen that anywhere else before. They said everywhere else you market, you're like this, and you're not going to tell anyone anything, and you're not going to share, and it's, like a prisoner eating dinner down the point of the mountain. But they said everybody was totally giving up ideas and suggestions and trying to brainstorm. And that's an environment that really comes, I think, from you guys, because you have to establish that kind of scene of this is what we're all going to do together.
I mean, first of all, I'm really happy to hear that. That's great that people are saying that. But I'll tell you, I came here from Silicon Valley, where it is exactly like you just talked about. It's everybody keeping everything tight to the vest. And
it's all mine, I'm going to kill you.
Yeah. Don't talk too loud. And at Product Power Up, and when we started this, that was one of the intentions, was to say it doesn't matter. I invite my competition from Blacksmith. This is Product Power Up. This is not Blacksmith. So I invite my competition. Come, take part. If you have an idea, bring it. If you want to network with people, get there.
All right, before we go, tell me, what are you seeing right now that's really, that really seems to be hot? Are there certain products that you're seeing that are really on fire in the market?
Yeah, there are. So first of all, product is so broad. That's a tough one.
I know,
because there's
right?
always something going on in 20 different categories. But what we saw the past few years were baby products.
We have a lot of those here in Utah.
We do, yeah.
We have a plethora.
Yeah, exactly. And so those cuddly, soft blankets that you give away as gifts when somebody we manufacture tons of those. We do clothing, we do bows, we do everything. But those were very hot and continue to be. But outdoor is massive.
This is a big one
now.
for the state, really.
Yeah, it's huge.
What's the coolest new widget you've seen? Coolest new product?
I just got my Nomadic bag. Have you heard of the Nomadic bag?
No.
Yeah, if you go to Nomadic, it's Nomatic, nomadic.com, and these guys just do cool bags on Kickstarter. And so it's how often are you going to get two, or I don't know, a couple of guys in a room, for a month trying to figure out what would be the coolest bag we could produce.
Oh,
and that's what they did. And so you've got this great travel bag. I took it to China last month. It was
There's
fantastic.
the acid test, right?
Yeah, on the road. I think I stuffed it a little too much because it was it was literally about 50 pounds of backpack, but it worked.
Well, like I said, you gave it the acid road test.
I love that thing.
All right, now, so we're a few months away from September, but given what we saw with, the attendance at the last one, it's probably a good idea to get online right now and take a look at Power Up, Product Power Up. Where do they go in order to sign up for the seminar and get some of the emails so they know who's coming?
Cool. Yeah, you can go to productpowerup.com.
Okay.
I really encourage people to leave that email because as we start to get speakers planned, panelists planned, you'll get to see what's happening, and plus you'll know as soon as we start selling tickets, which we're not at the moment, you'll get the very lowest price. What happened last year was we literally got to the week before and everything's full price, but nobody had, we did the early bird specials and all that, but it was full price, and so many people hadn't registered. Like there was this flood of people, and we're like, you could have been here 1 week earlier and paid half, but hey, and it was absolutely capacity.
Well, it's an investment. It's probably the biggest investment you're going to make, so it's worth it. But so if you want the early bird, it's productpowerup.com.
Correct.
Okay.
Oh, and there's also some really cool videos to show. You can see what we did last year.
Oh, fun.
What the venue looked like, some of the speakers, all of that.
All right. So we have smart monkeys in the state, and they're willing to make us, well, not me, sadly, but you, a millionaire. So make sure you go by. It's productpowerup.com. And so next week, anyone new you want to bring in? Because it is now Product Power Up Tuesday. We're under some pressure here. We have like a slogan now, Brian.
Yeah.
A slogan.
I know, so we've got to live up to it. It's very important, and I'm going to do my part. I am. So I think we had Jana Francis from Steels in last week.
Yes. Oh, that was so fun.
She was great.
I love her.
She's so smart. She's really fantastic to talk to, and just so much knowledge about product. I think that we have Rachel Nielsen from Regs, the baby clothing company, coming in. Hopefully we do end up with Jacob from Nomadic coming in. And I don't remember the rest of the lineup, but we'll post that as soon as we know. I think that the marketing team will probably know better than me.
Okay, we have a slogan.
We're excited.
We have a seminar. We have awesome. So this is going to be good. Thank you so much. You were amazing. This is going to be fun.
Can we do one thing before I leave?
Yes, of course.
So one of the things that I wanted to do as part of this radio spot is do a quick giveaway. And we've never done one before, ever.
Brian, this is a pretty big giveaway.
It is. So Blacksmith,
wow.
We manufacture all kinds of consumer goods. And typically when people come to us, that is, it's not free. You got to come in the door. If you wanted this team of experts to take your product from idea or take your design to manufacture, whatever it is, you have to sit down with a team of designers, of manufacturing experts, logistics, and we go through a pretty extensive process.
And that's usually about $50,000.
Yeah, well, for us, we've said we're going to break it up. So about $1,000 to get started if you haven't done any planning at all.
So this is basically, I have a really great idea, so what do I do now?
Yeah.
Okay. So and you also have a second stage. I like that one. It's called Design It. But you also have the Nail It stage, which is where you're pretty much right there. You kind of know what you want. You got the vision, but now you're like, how do I get it?
Well, you've got
made?
drawings.
And,
You've had a designer sit down and take your napkin sketch and put it into an actual CAD file. And somebody's looked at it and said, yeah, it can be manufactured. You've got that. Then we move to getting it sourced. And so that second stage is us finding a manufacturer who can do it, somebody who's been audited and is legit. And
always a big plus.
Yeah,
There's
exactly.
lots of those.
And just make sure you can actually get it. So when you do open that box, like we talked about earlier, it's the product that you asked for, not the product that just showed up that you can't sell.
And
so that's the second
I'm sure
stage.
you've seen those stories too.
Lots of them. Yeah.
All right, so whether you're in stage 1 or you're in stage 2, he's giving away a $995 package, which is freaking unbelievable. What we're going to do is I'm going to put this up on a separate post on Facebook so you can see it there. You can also go to getpartdaily.com, Todd and Erin page. You don't have to even say the idea. Just give us 1 or 2 code words, and that enters you into the drawing, because this literally is the most spectacular opportunity. You have to get started. That's really nice.
Well, hopefully we can get somebody out there going.
This is going to be fun. All right, so you coming back soon?
If you'll have me.
Yeah, that'd be great, because getting up at 5:30 in the morning is my personal
I love it. I come
favorite.
from Park City, but I have snow tires because I live in Park
See,
City.
at least you're thinking. That's
Yeah.
good. All right, so we'll be right back in just a couple of minutes. Coming up next, people are walking into walls at the new Apple building, and I've done that. Have you ever walked into a glass door? They're doing a lot of that. We'll tell you why.
Oh,
Our producer,
you suck, Mike.
Was he in the Bermuda? Bahamas?
Wait.
One of the B's.
Mike, where were you? Caribbean.
What are the
You
C's?
see this pictures he's running? Good grief. Look at this. Oh. What?
Montserrat? Oh.
Montserrat.
Montserrat.
And we got snow. We got Armageddon. We got the end of the world happening right
I
here.
want to go to Montserrat.
I do too.
Did you see all the little huts?
This is when we go someplace that's really nice like this. I actually have to put a bag over Erin's head and sneak her out of the country because she refused to go.
No, please. My desperate fingers. All right. Now, do you remember that one time when we just had an awesome talk in the backyard? And it was at our old house before we'd remodeled the back, and so it was just clear glass sliding doors. And I turned to walk back into the house in this room. And,
Oh, so gracefully.
I walked right into the glass door.
I mean, full face plant, right into the glass. It's the only thing that saved her. If she hadn't hit torso and face at the same time,
Yeah.
she probably would have broken it.
It was a pleasing balance. And we used to foster cats, and they would try to leap back into the house, and they would face plant against the thing, so you'd find little dust shapes of the kitties.
Everyone's got someone they know who walked through a glass window.
But-
Everyone knows someone.
But sadly, Apple apparently had not taken this into account when they developed their new multi-billion-dollar building. So
Why?
that seems like a problem to me. Okay, well, come
Oh,
on.
look at that.
Isn't that amazing?
Is that the Apple
Yeah.
building?
Okay, so number one, it's Apple, so you know it's going to be freaking unbelievable no matter what. Okay. So this is their $5 billion building.
My gosh.
The opening day, 2 people walked into walls hard enough to hurt themselves and had to be taken to the hospital.
Because it's all glass inside?
Well, see, they're famous for their innovative design, and it's
Right.
beautiful. And they wanted to do, obviously they wanted to do this whole clear focus that you could see all through the building.
Right,
So almost
right.
everything except for the weight-bearing walls are made of glass.
Right.
And so, but their trouble is that
Welcome to Contusion Land.
the trouble is that so many people have been walking into the walls now and especially because these are Silicon Valley people going like this on their devices and looking. That number one, they have a small medical clinic there that's gotten a lot more action than they planned on.
There you go.
And number two, this is so mean. The U.S. Occupational Safety and Health Administration actually came down and went, there are rules about putting your employees in danger. And Apple's like,
It's like OSHA
what?
in construction sites.
They say that employees shall be protected against the hazard of walking through glass by barriers or conspicuous durable markings. So basically, they're going to have to go to the store and get a bunch
Like
of
Grandma.
those bathtub decals.
Like Grandma did. She got you remember Grandma? You got the butterflies that look like stained glass, sort of, and you peel them off. You just stick them eye level at there, And while you're there, you can get the bath mat, which sucks to the bottom of the tub.
Yeah, or you can get some of the gel clings that they have for the holidays.
Right.
So good, right?
So you only need about 1 billion of those, and your Apple building will be safe.
That is the saddest thing I've ever heard.
That is so funny. They should develop a belt buckle that senses things coming at you. So if you're walking along, you
ding, 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 ding.
oh, glass. Then everybody becomes mimes.
All right. Given our recent obsession with Kentucky Fried Chicken that happened within this last year, and I don't know how it happened or why, but
This is so sad.
we're addicted in a way that is almost shameful, and we're not prepared to give it up.
Britain.
But right now in Great Britain, they are experiencing possibly the most tragic thing ever.
They've closed them down. They've closed down 100 stores.
We're talking Kentucky Fried Chicken branches in Bristol, Berkshire, Chester, Devon, Newcastle, Suffolk, Surrey. I mean,
They're all over the place.
it's chicken-geddon.
And you drive up to the windows, and they're closed because they are out of chicken. Do the chickens run faster than they do in the United States? No.
What is the problem? So it's not that people didn't want the chicken. Of course
they
the
want
chicken.
they're humans. Of course they want
wanted
the
it.
chicken.
So what happened
They have a
exactly?
hiccup on their delivery.
You have a hiccup for an entire, we're talking like 4 different countries here.
Well, the thing is that if you're a distributor, you work with all the Kentucky Fried Chickens, and that's what makes it work, is that you know what's going where. You don't use different suppliers because that'd be really confusing. The problem with that is if it goes down, it goes down.
It goes down hard.
And that's what's happened.
You people are being deprived of your chicken.
Oh, and people were torn up.
They're all tweeting protests, and they're like, "This is the end of the world." And
Right.
someone says, "Oh, KFC, what the cluck do you think you're playing at, closing nearly every branch in Bristol because you ran out of the chicken?" No one's happy. No one's happy.
No one is.
Oh, few hiccups for real, KFC. No chicken tonight. #. Any reason that the Bradford Greengate store is closed? Just had to drive another 20 minutes to not break us a promise to a child. I went all the way to KFC to realize it's closed, running out of chickens. I need answers. This is unacceptable.
You know what this means?
Sadly, I would be totally on their side. Here in Utah, we have our pleasing plethora of chicken, but they are being denied.
We have the very first one, by the way. 45th and State Street is
Yeah.
the very first Kentucky Fried Chicken in the world. And they have a buffet for lunch, by the way. No one knows that. Right now, there are herbs and spices. How many?
11.
Sitting on a shelf someplace with no place to go.
Chicken.
Think about that.
I don't even realize. I somehow that really has filled me with desolation in a way. That's probably more
Right?
proportionate that I should have.
All I
but
can think of is eating chicken now, and
I know, me too.
right now, like now.
They open at 10.
It's not soon enough.
I know. All right.
All right, new blood test. This is really interesting. You know, first
We had talked about Alzheimer's yesterday and how they had
Yeah.
isolated an enzyme that was part of what caused the brain plaque in the brain.
and early detection is like the secret to just about everything.
And especially with children. I mean, when you're on the autism spectrum disorder, it went from 25 years ago, went from 1 in 10,000 children, the vast majority were born with autism, to 1 in 68. 1 in 68. I just want to repeat that a few times. Here in Utah, we have the second highest rate in the nation.
And there's a spectrum. There's the people high functioning and the people who aren't. So it's this huge spectrum of falling under the guidelines of autism.
And obviously, this is huge for us because our twins, Zach and McClaney, have autism. But this is incredible. British researchers believe they have developed blood and urine tests now that confirm autism spectrum disorders in children, because the tests now tend to take over a year. You have to watch development. You have to see where things are going. And the earlier you can intervene and help the child into different work, the better your chances of reversing some of the neurological changes. So what they're saying is not only do they have earlier diagnosis and intervention, they're hoping the tests will reveal new causative factors, meaning they could find the specific plasma or urinary problems or the fingerprints of compounds that change the root of the brain patterns. And they're saying if we could do that,
That's the next
we
step.
might be able to reverse the course.
There you go.
Isn't that amazing?
It is.
I love the fact there's been so many incredible breakthroughs and so many different things recently. It gives me so much more hope for how we can change.
Well, they talk about so many things like cancer and stuff and different issues that people have and how close we are on so many of them right now, which is amazing. They go, we need another year. Okay? We need funding. We need a year. and people are working on the same
Just
project,
hang in there,
sharing information for once, which
Yeah.
wasn't always the case. And now they're all sharing what they get, and now it's moving faster. Anyway,
It's so wonderful.
so do you ever think that you had a past life? Now, I'm not sure if you believe in this.
Do you? We've talked about this, and you
Regression. What do they call it? Dream.
past life regression.
Yeah, it's a hypnotist. They hypnotize you and you go back and you figure out where you were in a past life. And I'm not sure I buy this, but
Everybody seems to be nobility. Nobody ever comes up and goes, "I was this peasant that got choked to death by a muskox." I mean, you never
Right.
get any of those.
and I'm the guy who carried poop buckets. No, you're always a prince. You're always someone famous, or I was Caesar's dog, something like that.
But there are 5 signs, they say, that do point to.
I have it right here. It's all
This may
science.
be a thing.
It's all science. All right, here we go. We're talking about past life regression and what they found out about this. You have persistent memories of things you've never experienced. You know any of these? You feel really strongly that you were born in the wrong era.
Back to the Victorian picture,
my parents were like this. Oh my gosh, my parents were like this. My parents should have been
1700s.
1700s. Our house, the latches on our doors, everything was designed. My mom wanted to be a colonist. Basically, is how it works.
Miss Virginia would have been an excellent colonist.
She would have. Here's another one. You have a sense of deja vu.
Like a lot.
You have a sense of deja vu.
Things keep reflecting back to you, and you're like,
I've done this before.
True.
And that's what they're saying. All right, next one is you identify with other cultures.
Maybe you've never even been to this country, but
Right?
there's something about it that draws you really strongly.
And I would say Asia for me.
Yeah.
Asia, I think. The food, the culture, the environment.
Huge fascination.
Yes, jungly. So I was Tarzan. You have unreasonable fear.
Certain phobias that
Don't make sense.
Yeah, no logical reason for it. No reason that you would be feeling that way.
This is another one is you have strange pains.
What do the pains mean?
You're getting old. That's just the way it works, folks.
No, but like maybe injuries or problems in a past life.
Maybe you were a potter and you broke your leg, and so your left leg would hurt, and then you wouldn't know that until you got regressed. Would you ever do that?
Past life regression?
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with hypnotism, but I'm not sure I buy past life.
I'm not sure.
I'd be happy to go with it and take a look.
Right.
But the thing is, a lot of people I do respect, and entire cultures believe in past life. So
I don't think I want to know.
Really?
Because number one.
Like you found a past life where you were super happy, and then you come back to this life and you're like, oh, well, great.
Oh no, I am happy with you, hon. Always.
That was a good
That
save,
was the
baby.
correct husband answer, by the way.
Super sincere.
Guys, you want to take a note of that? See how I pivoted really fast?
It was the sincere delivery that nailed it.
There you go. Hollywood's coming up next. Fergie, do not sing.
What was wrong with her?
Fergie. And Shaq loves you. The Shaq loves you.
No, I'm a Charles Barkley
Charles
side on this
Barkley
one.
will straighten it out here. We'll talk about that next.
The Todd and Erin Morning Stream is brought to you by Fink & McGregor, Mortgages Made Simple. If you go to fink-mcgregor.com, you'll find out that you can get a mortgage with a credit score as low as 600. Fink & McGregor, also by The Vein Clinic. If you go to theveinclinic.com, you can schedule an appointment and find out some amazing options for pain-free removal of varicose veins and spider veins. Your legs can look great again with The Vein Clinic. And also by Black Diamond Experts. They're experts in electric, plumbing, heating, and air. And they also have a brand new store up in Ogden now. If you'd like to reach them, you can go to blackdiamondexperts.com.
So Jeff, you do mortgages, right?
I do.
How do you do?
Well, you go to our website, 4minutemortgage.com, fill out the application. We'll call you within 1 business day. The whole thing takes about a month, start to finish.
We went to the bank
They got really personal.
and went through all of our personal records and all of our finances.
And then there was that little deal about the $8,000 closing costs.
Took like 4 months.
That's funny. That's funny.
Welcome back. It is the Todd and Erin Morning Stream with the Hollywood Connection, brought to you by Connect Heating and Air. You can go to Utah Heating and Cooling to learn more about how they can take care of everything, all of your commercial buildings, and you never have to worry again. All right, Fergie.
Sorry we're all coughing and sound like poop today.
Fergie from the Black Eyed Peas.
Oh, gosh, why did she do this?
Getting divorced from Josh Duhamel.
Well, just because of this performance.
Well, no, she sang the Star Spangled Banner during the NBA All-Star Game. Now, there was one time that Whitney Houston did it, and I think it was at the Super Bowl, and she was dressed in yellow, and she was heart-stopping, and she added a little extra...
But it wasn't sexy.
Bluesy into it, and it was incredible. But
plus,
mostly,
she could sing.
Oh, my gosh. But most of the time, you kind of want... It's kind of like a sacred ballad for us.
It's a song, and I don't
But it signifies a very powerful...
For my taste, you shouldn't do what she did.
So Fergie decided...
It was horrible.
She goes, I wanted to mix it up. And so she sang this weird, she goes, I wanted it to be sexy. And so she was kind of bumping and grinding, and she was going, you know, that weird warbling thing that some of them do. And the cheers kind of died off, and people were dying, and the cameras were panning across the players, and they were all like,
they didn't get it.
What are you doing? I mean, it was astonishingly awful.
She was off key like 3/4 of the time.
And that's really hard, too, because, I mean, you can't hear yourself very well anyway. So
you have an
throwing in
earpiece.
extra
Then don't do it.
It's still hard, but yeah. So they went to the halftime, and it's like Charles Barkley was just like this, just waiting, like I gotta tell, and he's falling over because it was awful. And
Shaq loves her, and Shaq this is on a sports panel, and he was like, no, she was sexy, she was awesome, and it's just like, no, you have no ear.
No, it was really bad.
Right.
However, poor Fergie, and she said, I love this country, and I honestly tried my best. She said, I just wanted to try something special.
Yeah, but don't do it. It's a wrong time. Do that in your shower.
Yeah, I don't think sexying up.
Try something new in your shower. That's totally different.
Trying to sexy up the Star Spangled Banner is an issue for me.
And by the way, if you're going to have to sing in public and you don't like singing, or you're afraid to, and somebody makes you do it, just do it very staccato. Like, oh, say, can you see? That's it.
This kind of...
Don't hold the notes. Just, oh, say, can you see? Okay,
I can go with that. That's like Rex Harrison in My Fair Lady when he absolutely refused to sing, so he basically just intoned.
Exactly.
And that didn't even speak; he intoned. Because
and
he's
Mamma
British
Mia.
And he can do that.
And Mamma Mia, where you watch Mamma Mia and
Pierce Brosnan.
She gave him crap for singing, and I was like, good for you, because man, you made the attempt. You put it out there. A lot of those people on that show didn't sing, but they did.
But he tried. You're right.
They made it work.
All right, Black Panther still so excited. They said,
gosh.
I mean, they're saying that it's even maybe cracking the 4th biggest box office opening, because it's got now cleared up to, if they added in all the nationwide tally, they were already up to over $400 million, which is so cool. And one of the things that was fun to watch, we actually ironically went out on opening night, which was a mistake, to take the kids to a Wallace and Gromit.
This was at the Gateway, and the Gateway usually has 30 people in it. If you ever want to sit alone in a movie, even if it's one of the blockbusters, do the Gateway. But this place was packed. We've never seen it so busy.
And we were taking the kids to Early Man because Zoe's not ready for Black Panther. But it was really cool to watch how many people were wearing African dress, and they were very specific in
awesome.
And a lot of the different looks and styles, and they had and it was really cool to see them get so heavily into it. But one of the things that I thought was amazing, the Wakanda Army that's featured in Black Panther is an all-female army. And you see some of these actresses, and you're like, I am so in love with you. I want you to teach me. They were the Ehoso or the Mino, and forgive me, or the Ghetto. And this is really cool. They did a ton of research on it. They were a fierce all-female army.
Right.
They're based off the women in Africa who were considered the most feared women in the world.
Yes,
they're around the era and the description of the Amazons over in Rome and Greece, and they were brutal in battle.
History of being brutal.
They had what they said is, I'm trying to read it specifically from the museum thing, a specific warbling call that struck terror into the heart of the male warriors before them and made them flee. The women were ruthless and showed no mercy. I just thought that was really cool that he'd gone to that trouble to make it accurate.
And they're really stabby, too.
Extra stabby.
Extra stabby. You know what's cool, though?
I think that's very cool.
When he went to Moana, And if you've seen it, you know it's pretty cool. And Dwayne Johnson's in it, and
you're welcome.
And it's so funny because he sings. See, look at that, another star singer.
Yeah, but he can do everything right. He's Dwayne Johnson.
Except for those muscles. So interesting in the lobby, a lot of Polynesians. And now, stay with me. Black Panther movie, a lot of African Americans. And so it seems like there's such an interest in the culture now that people go see it, and then everyone goes and sees it. And it's just like untapped resource for imagination of film creation and all these different things. Just more avenues and more avenues and more avenues.
If you show the respect, I've seen stuff that I've saw where I'm like, okay, you just basically condescended to an entire culture.
No, yeah, no, true.
But like Moana, they talked a lot about that, and I asked one of our friends, Melee, I said, how did you feel like it impacted? Do you feel like it was appropriate to Pacific Islanders?
Yeah.
Did it feel?
Yeah.
And the things they changed in animation, even making ankles thicker and the faces and the broader, and the culture they brought in was, I thought, beautiful. And it was the same thing with Black Panther. They wanted to do a ton of research so that they were incorporating a lot of the early African themes, and because a lot of the emotion and the energy and the turmoil and the conflict. And once again, I feel like I should not even be talking about it because this is not my experience.
Right.
But this has risen out of countless centuries of conflict, and so it's cool to see them going back to some of the root issues and really trying to involve them back into the cinema. I thought it was really neat.
How many new superheroes were created in Black Panther? Or just some of these exist already? Because I'm not a big comic book
like I said,
guy.
if you've been reading the graphic novels, they've been around, but they haven't really had any representation in film.
I think it's
at
awesome.
All. So yeah,
I mean, it's awesome.
neat. And I just love the women warriors. That's so cool.
They're stabby. Really
Extra stabby.
All
right, let's go to Daisy. She's in the Gephardt Daily Newsroom. She is brought to you by Fink and McGregor. Their mortgage is made simple. If you're worried about all the weird stock market changes and the interest rates going up, why don't you just actually go online to fink-mcgregor.com. You can go through 4 minutes of questions. They'll get some ideas, spit out some options, and somebody will call you within the next business day. Also by the Vein Clinic. If you go to theveinclinic.com, sign up for a consult. I went to the Riverton location. They took out... I had a leg that looked 20 years older, and they took the varicose veins out. It was painless, and my leg looked completely normal within 3 days. Also by Brio Technologies, your experts in lighting, sound, and video. If you want to make your business actually come into this century and look cool and hip, you want to go to brioaudiovisual.com. Daisy, my dear, what's going on today?
Thanks, Todd and Erin. Here's what's making national and world news headlines on Tuesday, February 20th on Gephardt Daily. The White House says Donald Trump is suddenly supportive of efforts to help strengthen background checks for gun purchases. Trump spoke to members of the Senate Friday about a bipartisan bill designed to strengthen federal background check system. The White House says Trump will take part in a listening session Wednesday with high school students and teachers after 17 people were gunned down at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland, Florida. Islamic State militants have killed at least 27 Iranian-backed fighters in Iraq. The fighters were killed after being stopped at a fake checkpoint manned by ISIS militiamen disguised as police officers. The ambush took place near the town of Kirkuk, birthplace of Iraqi dictator Saddam Hussein, and the site of an ongoing battle between ISIS and Iraqi security forces. The U.S. Navy is preparing to poke the Russian bear in the chest as it sends 2 guided missile destroyers to conduct maritime security operations in the Black Sea. The provocative move comes as the U.S. ramps up support for NATO allies in Western Europe. The U.S. Navy released a statement effectively thumbing their noses at Russian military, saying the U.S. will, quote, operate at the tempo and timing of our choosing in this strategically important region. And now time for another look at your Wasatch Front weather, brought to you by Brio Technologies, Utah's top audiovisual specialists. The biggest storm of the winter continues to dump snow along the Wasatch Front. The storm dumped about 8 inches on the valley floors Monday, and we can expect another 4 inches throughout the day Tuesday. High temps will creep into the lower 30s and stay there until the week's end. Overnight lows will be in the teens. That's it for now. For more news from across the nation and around the world, go to gephartdaily.com. Todd and Erin, back to you.
Thank you, my dear Daisy. Okay, this is pretty cool. And we've been telling you about Kelly, and this is the poor dog they found out on the salt flats wandering around. It's just profoundly hurt. Poor little thing. It's so sad. Excuse me as I casually reach over for the story. The Utah Animal Adoption Center has been spending a huge amount of time trying to bring her back to life, because if this little girl could hang on that long, she deserves a chance. And so terrible mange, terrible problems with the ultraviolet rays, and so she was pretty much just a little bag of bones. She's doing a lot better now, and her hair's growing back. She's got a little black on her body, brown on her head, and so
she's so cute.
They're doing a DNA test to see actually what possible breed she might be. So they're doing a contest.
Because she has no hair or anything.
Yeah. So they're doing a contest right now. This is so cute. Just go to the Utah Animal Adoption Center's Facebook page, and if you win, you get a gift basket. So just go to info@utahanimals.org, utahanimals.org.
So they're doing the gene thing, huh?
The most popular guess is that maybe she's a pointer.
Uh-huh.
So that's kind of interesting. So I
but
love
they don't know long hair or short hair either.
That's so funny. The thing I like most about this, though, is that any attention you get to one of the adoption centers,
more dog stories.
For one heartwarming dog story means you'll go to the Facebook page or the website and you'll go, that dog should be mine. Right. It really does spur adoption for so many other animals. So good luck, Kelly. She looks like a pointer to me. She's got that snout.
I don't know. I don't think so.
And that soulful gaze. You don't think?
I don't know, because you're thinking spaniel, like a spaniel pointer. I don't think so.
I think she's too big for a spaniel.
I don't know.
But
it's a good mystery.
It's the soulful gaze. That's where they always get you.
It's a soulful gaze.
All right, coming up.
All right, so a couple different things coming up. There's a new bill for idiots on Capitol Hill.
Sure is.
Let's just leave it there. It's coming up.
The Todd and Erin Morning Stream is brought to you by Fink and McGregor. If you go to fink-mcgregor.com, there's a short 4-minute quiz, and at the end of it, you can find a whole array of mortgage options, and someone will call you back from Fink and McGregor within the next business day. Also by Utah Credit Approval. Go to utahcreditapproval.com because they know that bad things happen to good people, but that shouldn't stop you from repairing your credit and getting a reliable automobile at utahcreditapproval.com. And also all Utah Plumbing, Heating, and Air. John has 24/7 service because he knows that emergencies can happen any time of the day or night. And right now they have a $69 special to check out all your heating systems to make sure they're working well. Just go to allutahplumbing.com.
Welcome back, Todd and Erin Morning Stream at GephartDaily.com. Woman, you have this story.
This is pretty funny. Okay, now here's the deal. I think every one of us has seen an ambulance going, and for anyone who's ever had a loved one in an ambulance, you're like, go, 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 go. And if they're parked somewhere, you're like, I will get it out. What can I do for you?
Right.
An ambulance means there's a medical emergency.
You need to get out of the way.
Happening in your vicinity.
Right.
All right. So the crew from UK's West Midlands Ambulance Service discovered an angry note on their vehicle as they were responding to an emergency call for an elderly woman having a heart attack.
Okay. What does it say?
And this is, so the woman put it up. She goes, so upset that this is what they said. It says, if this is you, or anyone number 14, then you have no right to park here. I couldn't give a blank, blank, blank if the whole street collapsed. Now move your blank, blank, blank.
Stuff in car.
Away, whore.
Wait a minute.
Which seems a little mean.
This is on the...
on the ambulance
windshield. We're just a coughing mess here. On the ambulance's windshield.
They were pissed off that the ambulance had parked in front of house number 9.
Number 9.
Because they were racing into a house to help
a woman having a heart attack who was someone's grandma.
Unless you're number 9, which apparently would be the woman who left this angry, furious note.
Not allowed to park there.
And called them a whore, which seems like a lot.
That seems like a lot of effort.
So here's a little problem though. She actually called the emergency line there, which is 999
right.
instead of 6. What is ours here?
Doesn't matter. Go ahead.
That is really
You're
sad.
Right. You're going to die before the show's over.
And she actually called to complain, saying that these idiots had ruined, and blah blah blah, and they better get them out of there, and they were responsible for this mess. And so the police calmly traced back the thing, although I think since it said number 9 on the note, they knew who it was. And went and said, we've recorded your call. You threatened the ambulance crew. You threatened the emergency phone operator. And blocking an emergency vehicle from doing its job is a crime. So we're here to arrest you.
Oh, nice.
So it goes a little bit past Mean Girls by the time you're calling 911 and screaming.
I also would like to say, and this is true, that the people who drive in the ambulances are not whores.
I don't think so either.
I don't think so.
That seemed unnecessary.
That seems a little...
almost uncalled for.
Shaming of some sort.
Yeah.
I'm now going to take you to
Excuse me.
Betty White. Betty White is older than sliced bread. Did you know that?
Is she 95 now?
She is.
She's 95.
In 1928. Does the math work out on that? July 7th, 1928. Missouri lawmakers now want to make it the official.
No, that would only make her 90. That can't be right. Anyway, go on.
Anyway, so they want to make it the official sliced bread day, where it actually happened. And they actually said, hey, this bread's a big thing. Let's cut it in pieces. And they did.
So they've done a nationwide celebration for Sliced Bread Day.
They should.
Sliced Bread Day.
By the way, if you have kids, if you go to the grocery store, they have a bread slicing machine, and they love it. You buy the artesian.
I was about to mock
bread.
it, but then I thought, well, but it's a homey thing. It's going back to our roots.
And the kids are like, what's
Why
going on
not
here?
celebrate sliced bread?
Right?
We celebrate a lot of weirder stuff.
And where
than
does
that.
bread go to? It goes to toast. America.
All right, this is pretty fun. I always enjoy waiting for the legislature to convene every year because there's always 2 or 3 things you're like, this was your biggest worry. There was one year Todd and I were laughing hysterically because they were saying, it was a Provo lawmaker. It's like, I don't think that it really should be required that you use a baby seat. We're like, what?
Right.
And so we actually interviewed him on the air because we're like, well, explain. He says, well, like, what if you see a 3-year-old walking alone in the rain on the way home, but you don't have a car seat, so you can't stop and help the 3-year-old and you drive away? And I went, who logically would do that? Right. And that was his main thrust, was that if he didn't have to have a car seat.
Right.
I guess he could find more.
So the law was you had to, and he said, no, we don't have to. You have to because certain situations. I mean, I think we've all thrown a kid in the back of the car in an emergency or something.
I don't think we've ever done that.
And this guy wants to make this a law. I didn't drive anywhere. Stop the face. What's the face
was
for?
this?
No, I put Zoe when she was older, and I put her on a seatbelt in the car without her seat.
Was she at least in the back seat?
She was in the car. All right. So anyway, and then the other guy wanted to pass a bill saying that you could shoot stray cats. First of all, how do you know? Number 2, why? Number 3, who brought that up?
There were a couple that I thought were well meant. Senate Minority Leader Gene Davis wanted to have his bill make it a crime to leave animals tethered outside without adequate shelter.
I like it.
That seems reasonable. But then the farm guys came by and went, okay, so like if I've got my horse or like a cow, and then it got into like all weird, and then it was like, okay, so
that's not what I meant, right?
So now it's back in legislative committee. And the other one that I enjoy is from Representative Christine Watkins.
Let me say something. The tethered thing, and immediately probably what he was thinking was dogs with big chains around them, without a doghouse.
It's clear animal abuse or neglect. That was the intention. Okay, Christine Watkins, do you have anything else to worry about?
Right,
she's pushed this bill through with single-minded devotion. She wants to make it so that you don't have to keep your vehicle registration in your car. That is the entire thrust of the bill. This is so that it can't be added on to points on a ticket, and that is her thing, that this must be done away with.
Did she get pulled over at some point?
I am 99% betting, and it's like, where else would you keep your vehicle registration?
Well, don't the cops ask for it?
They license and registration, please.
They want to make sure you're driving the car has the right plates on it,
and it's not been stolen, and that's her big bill. Now,
the only thing downside I can see is that it has your address on it.
Oh, that's true, but
that's the only thing I can think of.
But that's the only thing. Here's my personal favorite. Now, Representative Norm Thurston is the one that did the lowest blood alcohol level in the country.
0.5.
Which I'm actually fine with because there's actually quite a few studies stating that it has dramatically reduced fatalities.
This would be the first place in the United States, and this equals Finland. I forget which European,
Yeah. So, we're all edgy, kind of waiting. Here's my personal favorite, though. The Restaurant Association, National Restaurant Association, put up a big thing going, okay, wait. Let's just talk about this. You're decimating us because this is a real problem for them.
For tourism.
You're knocking back the 0.05 alcohol level. It's a big problem for tourism. They've already seen cancellations and whatever. But then they said, you're also lobbying for the right for drinkers to be able to carry their guns and not make it a crime. And he's like, you completely understand the point of my bill. He said, the only thing I want to do is make sure that they don't get in trouble if they shoot someone in self-defense while drunk.
No, while drinking.
While drinking. So let's just go through this for a short moment. Okay. Setting aside the percentage of self-defense gun use, which tends to be fairly low, then setting aside the fact that you've had a few cocktails, and then you're going to hurt me. Okay. So he just wants to make sure that on the off chance this happens and there's a dead person.
You defend yourself and there's a dead person.
But you're drunk.
It's not a weapons violation.
Okay. So to me, if you're going to go out having a lot of cocktails, I don't want you to take your gun with you.
Leave your gun at home.
I really, really don't want you to do that. So he's going, you just misunderstand my bill. It's more about safety. No, guns and alcohol traditionally. And then there's many, many people. There's marshals. There's law enforcement. There's a lot of people who are well trained, who know how to balance these issues.
Right.
I can't help but feel the rest of us don't.
I think that...
but he's acting very upset and very pious about how dare you interrupt my moment of protecting my constituency.
Well, you know, I think when you come up with a bill, you should sit down in a big room full of people, and everyone plays the devil's advocate and goes in all different directions, because unforeseen complications, you know, where suddenly the farmer's going, I have a cow, and I tie him to a post before I take him in the barn.
Exactly.
No, we meant dogs. I know, but I have a goat, and next thing you know...
And if somebody wanted to utilize this statute, I mean, it's like, okay.
Goes on and on. All right, so... I have a test for you now. I have a test for you.
I'm ready.
All right. Breakfast time. Or actually anytime. Lucky Charms.
Anytime.
Magically delicious.
Anytime at all.
They're always after me, Lucky Charms.
Yeah, they are.
I want you to name them. Marshmallows.
There's rainbows. That was
let them go first.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay, they don't know. You go.
Right, no. Kim said marshmallow. She knows the rainbows.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Tanya, there's the diamonds.
Excuse me.
I don't think that, no.
Clovers, blue moons,
Melanie,
rainbows, red balloons.
Oh, yeah, and the balloons, I forgot those.
Now there's a new one.
Tell me.
They thought, you know, the hourglass. How did you get an hourglass in there, marshmallows? Why?
It's mystical.
Okay, so heart stars, horseshoes, that's on the edge. Clover, that makes sense. Blue moons, yes, that's good.
Horseshoes,
Rainbows,
of course.
Red balloons, those all make sense. But the hourglass doesn't fit in there. But now there are magical unicorns.
Get out.
Unicorn.
Get out.
No.
Oh, I want one right now. I want it right now. Look at the unicorns. Did you know that there's a place online, on Amazon.com, you can actually order just the marshmallows without the pesky oat cereal?
That's not true.
No, it's true, and I'm going to go online right now.
You're being mean, people. You're mean.
Oh, no, I'm doing it right now. Keep talking.
All right.
Oh, my gosh. They have them with the little unicorns.
See, for the longest time, I didn't think they came with marshmallows because my family would dump it out into a big bowl, pick all the marshmallows out, and then funnel the cereal back into the box.
Well, baby, we know you don't like sweets so much. And so.
Oh, so you're helping me.
Yeah. Oh,
nice.
Marshmallow.
She's actually going to look this up.
Cereal. I know it's there. No, well, yeah, we just worried about your health. We didn't, it's not your favorite. We know that. And
are you kidding me? Right there.
Right
there.
Is that? Yeah,
what is that?
Yeah.
Right there.
Family sized. All marshmallow.
Wait. Keep going. I'm getting a camera here.
Oh man, this is awesome. This is so nice. Yes, it is. This is it.
All right, open one up.
Product description. It's basically all the marshmallows. You can't really see it. Lean it over. Yeah, there you go. A little better. It's all the marshmallows without the pesky oat cereal. I'm so freaking...
And it's from the cereal company?
Yeah, it's from Lucky Charms.
Open up another one.
Oh my gosh, that's so exciting. Okay, explore these grocery delights. This, I think, is a knockoff. But
well, there should be.
Yeah, because those are not well colored.
There should be a government agency on this one.
No, those are not well colored. I wouldn't trust those at all. I want the one with the unicorns. I'm going to the Lucky Charms. Oh my gosh.
How did you know that they sell those?
Someone told me online once when I was rhapsodizing about how wonderful they were.
Right.
And how I wish that there was such a thing. And she laughed at me and she went, "Why, there is, my cabbage. There is."
I find that so weird. There's basically everything online.
Marshmallow unicorns and Lucky Charms.
Could it get any better?
This is like the best day ever.
We would like to do driving in this morning. This is our little tribute we want to do as we say goodbye. Thanks for joining us.
And we want to let Mike know how much we hate his guts.
Because he showed us the Caribbean where he went.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, oh, sorry. But if you are watching this live at 8:10 and you were watching this on the 20th of February, you realize that in Salt Lake City in Utah we had a snowstorm. And they were claiming it was going to be the end of the world. And it was worse in other places than it was.
Yeah, Sandy got a foot, and they're not thrilled.
And we have bare streets in the avenues, and other people, I-15 this morning was stupid. And
but anytime they tell you to keep to stay home and keep inside the house,
it's
like there's wolves outside, or
they're going to eat you,
or the street is shiny, it's wet.
When it's wet, the street is shiny. It means it's wet. They gave us all this. So Richard driving in this morning, I think it was him, rolled a camera and to show you what the drive-in was like. You guys are great. We're going to see you tomorrow. The Todd and Erin Morning stream at GetBarDaily.com.